My 5-foot build in NBA 2K25 is unlike anything you've seen before. We are getting insane dunks on this build, greening tightly contested shots consistently, and with all this insane offense, and I mean insane offense, you might think this build's a liability on defense, but we are locking up anybody we are guarding. Off of any steal, we are taking it all the way down the court and finishing that ourselves. We still get all the normal things a shorter build in this game gets, like insane playmaking and super high shooting, but I found a way to make us a slasher and a lockdown all at the same time. In this video, I will show you exactly how to make this super dominant guard build. In my opinion, the most insane 5-foot build we've ever seen in 2K history. I'll also have gameplay playing in the background as I show you guys how to make this build so you can see how insane it is in online game modes. And then after we get this build put together, I have my first 3 ever park games played on this build, showing you guys I was going crazy before I even have my badges maxed out. So make sure you're sticking around to the end for that. But it is time. Let's start talking about how to make this build. So you're going to want to start out with this height, weight, wingspan. I know a ton of people have made 5'9" builds this year. I really do think I found one that's better than anything else I've seen. We are an absolute offensive powerhouse and still insane on defense. So make sure you're copying this down, going point guard, height 5'9", weight 175 pounds, and a 6'1" wingspan. I went with these specifically so we could still get a 99 mid-range and a 99 3 and still have high enough defense to get stops consistently. So all these dunking clips you're seeing in the background are coming from these finishing stats. I have found some absolutely broken dunk packages with these ratings to turn this 5'9" into a slasher. If you don't believe me, just look at the crazy dunking clips you're seeing in the background. And if you think those are low, don't worry, that is not even the best part of this build. The shooting, as you can see here, is the real reason I made this. With this 99 mid-range, we get every legend shooting badge in the entire game except for legend limitless range. Oh my gosh, look at the steal clip in the background real quick. But back to what I was saying, I did use 5 cap breakers to get that 99 mid-range. Definitely worth it. And I will be hitting veteran 2 in a couple weeks, which will give me 5 more cap breakers, which I will be putting on my 3-point shot to give us a 99 mid-range, 99 3, every legend shooting badge in the entire game, and make this build even more insane. But you can see from these clips, we're already shooting 3s super consistently. Those mid-range badges that we get help our 3-point shooting immensely. You're really not going to be missing on this build. It doesn't stop there though. Next up is playmaking. With a build like this, I wanted to make sure we got every single dribble move in the entire game, and also started out with legend lightning launch. It's so much better than Hall of Fame this year, and we are extremely fast with the ball. If you're concerned about the 71 pass accuracy, don't be. I played on this build so much the last few days, and the passes are still very fast. You have absolutely nothing to worry about when it comes to that. Overall though, playmaking is pretty standard. Just wanted to make sure we got everything we could need on this shorter build. Now let's check out the defense. We get some pretty crazy stats here. So these stats will give us challenger, on-ball menace, glove, and interceptor on a pretty good rating. But we are also able to put on the pickpocket takeover and give us 99 perimeter and 99 steal on this build. So if that's the route you decide to go, you literally have lockdown type of stats while still having every legend shooting badge, good dunking, and all the playmaking you could possibly ask for. Real quick before we watch these first part games, let's check out the physicals right here. Now I will be putting 1 cap breaker on my speed to get Hall of Fame slippery off ball if they give us another cap breaker for the level 40 next season. But even outside of that, you can see we're extremely fast. We have good physicals. We have the vertical to be able to dunk consistently. More importantly, we have that speed and agility. We're running up and down the court extremely fast and beating everybody else on the court to the spots they're trying to get to. Now that we have the build put together, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and let's get right into my first 3-part games ever played. All right, so like I said, here we are. We are getting into the first part game I ever played on my 5'9" build. I did play some rec on it before this, get my badges up a little bit, but anybody that plays multiple game modes knows park is way different than rec. And to start out the video, we are playing against 2 6'7". This guy's got a 97 driving dunk with a 93 midi, and the other guy's got straight vertical and slashing, which is one thing on this build I have trouble stopping, is bigger guards that just sit and rim run me all game. So let's see what we can do about that. Right away though, he's pulling that off the inbound, and I tell my center just run straight to the paint. We're getting an easy stop on that. And I am getting right into how I want to play on this build. Fading mid-range, wide open, and we are greening that, our first ever park shot. You always love to see the first one go in. With a 99, I should be knocking that down though. We are right back into our screen and roll. Gonna fade a 3-pointer here, end up missing that one. My center gets the rebound though. I'm relocating to the corner, wide open, and I am knocking that down. You'll see in the top right, I don't have all my badges on legend yet, but even the ones I do have upgraded and the crazy high ratings I have are gonna help me knock these down super consistently. And as you're gonna see through this gameplay, I have a major advantage of anybody taller than me. I'm just way faster. Look at that move, wide open. Knocked down another mid-range. There's really nothing they can do to stop that when I'm that wide open. I don't think a lot of people realize how crazy legend badges are this year compared to Hall of Fame or any other rating. It gives you such a good boost and they work so well. See, I'm knocking down another 3 there. That's why these specialty builds where you invest into 1 or 2 stat categories really heavy instead of making all around builds are so good. I already know I wanted to showcase that dunk again though. You see me dunking in the park. There is some park dunks we could also get on this build, get a little bit more flashy if we wanted to, but I haven't tested those out all that much. I've been mainly focusing on trying to get my fade timing down and everything on these shorter builds. As you see, I hit my center wide open under the paint. He said, no, you're going for all 21. I ended up missing this fade right here. But the speed and defense we have, I beat this guy to the spot, rip it right off of him, and we are getting that back, fading in the corner. I do miss again, but remember, I don't have my badges quite yet, but I am going to knock down any wide open catch and shoots that I get. They did end up getting the ball back, but I told my center to go back to the paint. He knocks down a layup somehow that's open. Paint defense, interior defense is pretty weird this year, I can't lie. But he somehow got that to go. I'm not worried though. We are up 17-2 in this one. At this point, I'm pretty sure the dude I'm guarding cannot shoot. So I'm just going to guard the guy that does have a 93 mid-range, and he's going to pull that right over my head, knock it down. I didn't really get a good enough contest on that. Wasn't expecting him to shoot off the catch so fast, but that's okay because the next possession we are going to get a stop again, wide open for 3. You already know I'm knocking that one down. So now we are up 20-5, 1 more bucket needed to win. I'm trying to dex to get open. I am so much faster. Like I've said, got him jumping, fading a 3 for the win, and we are knocking that down, getting out of game number 1, and we just won our first part game ever played on this build. As you can see, I did not shoot great. I did shoot over 50% without even having my badges maxed, and it is only getting easier and easier through these games. The more I play, the more I grind my badges out. But I'm definitely happy to get out of game 1 with a win. Let's get on to game number 2. So for game number 2 here, we do end up playing another 5'9" and 7-footer. They're running pretty much the same lineup as us. These guys definitely knew what they were doing a little bit more than the last guys. I wanted to make sure we're locking in. Still don't have a ton of experience under my belt in the park with this, but we are starting with the ball. I want to get right back to what we were doing last game. I'm coming off the screen, shooting a fading mid-range. He does get an open contest on that, which affects me a little bit. It's not as easy to shoot as wide open, but I really just should have timed it right. And he's out here trying to combo up, trying to ISO me. I do end up getting hit by a screen when he calls it, gets a wide open 3 and knocks it down. I mean, he better be knocking that down though when he's got a 99 3-pointer and he's wide open. Now he's using screens. I'm super fast. I'm getting to that to get an open contest on his shot. My center gets the rebound. I relocate to the corner, and I'm going to come up and end up fading here. He gets a light pressure again. I missed that one. It's tough when this dude's also 5'9" and can keep up with me. I'm used to being able to outrun everybody else on the court. I'm still not worried though. We are bumping him, keeping up with him. He's not going to be able to knock down all his shots. He does crab me, and I get caught on the screen for a second. Fades a crazy 3-point shot and ends up getting that one to go, making it 6-0. So we are back on defense again. He's going to inbound to his center, try to relocate. I get there for a light pressure contest, and he misses that one. I'm back wide open in the corner, knocking that one down, making it 3-6. And off of this inbound, I do try to go back door. Center throws a turnover, but that is on me. I should have just came up and got the ball. My center gets back, gets a block, goes out of bounds, and we are back on defense again. Off of this inbound here, they're going to get it into the guard, catch my center jumping in the paint, dish it to his center, get an easy dunk, making it 8-3. But you guys have to remember, even when we're getting scored on, I have a 91 steal in this build, so I am ripping the inbound. Center shoots a crazy shot, and that gets sent back. But he is going to play good paint defense here, make up for it on the defensive end, and get a stop for us. This guard that was guarding me was extremely fast, so he was keeping up with most of the stuff I was doing. I got open a couple times here. I probably could have faded it, but I'm going to kick it out to my center, relocate to the mid-range, and shoot this with low energy. You already know with a 99, we are knocking that one down, making it 8-5. This time, I am going to come all the way up in the inbound and then backdoor. He ends up sneaking it to me, and I get a nice easy dunk. A lot of people don't put dunk on their 5'9", but it's such a game changer being able to rim run every once in a while, mix up your game, really just reset the algorithm so that you're able to shoot again. But I do fade this one in the corner, end up missing that one. But we are right back on defense. I am not worried. I am all over this dude at this point. I'm fast enough to keep up with him. I have good defensive stats. And we end up boxing him this entire possession. There's absolutely nothing he can do. He does get an inch of space, ends up shooting that. Probably could have knocked it down. He was wide open, but we will definitely take a stop on that. And then I am going to fade this wide open mid-range, make it 9-8. At this point, we're a little bit more settled into the game, feeling a little bit more confident. And remember that driving dunk I was talking about earlier? We are breaking that out again between the legs, making it 11-8. We are really out here getting on the rim with our 5'9". I'm having so much fun with this build. Mixing up play styles and playing on different builds makes the game so much more enjoyable. Just being able to always do different stuff. I get a good little cross launch animation there. My center hits the screen wide open. I'm going to knock that down. You guys can see though, on a pretty new build after not playing in the park before, we are out here cooking. I really did get used to it pretty quick. I'm going to fade that one. Light pressure, doesn't matter. We're knocking it down. My center hasn't shot yet. He did want me to get all the points, but that does mean that their center is going to sit paint. So I'm going to try to get open here, dot my center. Does not have his mid-range upgraded, so ends up missing that one, but don't worry about it. I got the offensive board. Running back to the left corner, going to fade that. Wide open, knock it down. We're looking real good, 17-8. And then they were boxing us for a second, but I end up finding my center again on the pop. He's still leaving him open, and he is going to knock that one down, make it 20-8. Going into one of the last possessions with a massive lead always feels good. I'm breaking out that dunk again, another between the legs, and the second game with a nice little 22-8 victory. We will take that any day of the week. Getting more and more comfortable on this build, as you can see, 19 points, 75% from the field. Let's check out game number 3. And on to this game here, we do end up playing a 6'4" and a 7'1" center. They weren't on max builds, but I will take these kind of games anytime that I can, especially when I'm playing on something new. I will say, by this third game though, we were pretty settled in. I'm feeling a lot better on the build. Center's going to set me a big screen on the right. I am wide open for a mid-range fade. We will take that to start the game 2-0. I will say, as soon as I got this shifty shooter badge on Legend, I started greening way more shots. Definitely opened the green window a ton. I do at least have that badge maxed in some of this gameplay. And the more badges I get, the more I am loving this build. It's actually so much fun to play on. He did get a couple bumps on me there. I'm down to 1 adrenaline. I tell my center to slip. He's going to end up throwing this one home for a 6-0 start to this game. Off of this inbound, I'm going to come up, go backdoor again, abuse the dunk I put on this build, make it 8-0. Inbounding this one here, going to throw it over to my center. Dribbling around a little bit. Look how fast this player is. Look at that cross launch. Wide open from 3. I'm going to end up missing that one, but my center gets the rebound. Misses his putback. Gets another rebound, end up dunking that one, making it 10-0. Those putback animations this year help you get better rebound animations for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it does force you into a shot. At this point, I'm kind of wondering if I can catch self-lob, so I try one here and end up mistiming it, but you saw how big that green window was. So it is definitely possible. I get a lane steal, goes right back to the guy. Imagine that. I'll save you the time. They didn't end up doing anything on offense. We got it back, and I knocked down a 3, making it 13-0. And then I'm like, all right, let me get myself alley try again. I know it's coming. I have a huge green window. I timed that one right. Look what we're able to do with a 75 driving dunk on this build. At this point, we're up 15-0. This game's kind of flying by. He does get a couple good bumps on me though, and I'm down to 1 adrenaline again. Hitting my center on the slip, going up 17-0. This one's all but over, and we are really out here taking over 2K25 with these 5'9" builds. Nobody can keep up with my speed or contest my shot. It's just too fast. They're super fun to play on, but there's definitely a skill gap on these builds. You have to kind of know what you're doing, know exactly how you need to play on these short builds, because obviously you're not going to be running through people like you do on taller builds or anything like that. It's just learning the play style, and once you do, there's a big skill gap, but you really can dominate on it if you do it right and figure out the play style. As you can see, getting out of game 3 with a 21-0 win. Seriously though, do not sleep on these short builds. Let me know what you guys think of this one down in the comments. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out. We are still dropping crazy videos all through 2K25. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you in the next one.